Holy crap, man. I just watched Game of Thrones, Season 8, Episode 3. That was probably the most legitimately stressful hours of television that I've ever watched. Spoilers ahead. I'm going to totally talk in depth about everything that happens in the episode, so if you haven't seen it, watch it and then come back. It opens up where the previous episode left off, where, everybody's lined up for battle at Winterfell, they're ready to go, and they've already established that this is pretty much like an endless army that does not tire, and there's just a consistent onslaught of Winterfell throughout the entire episode, as well there should have been, okay? Because Lord knows they took 2 episodes to really kind of like ease us into everything. And the thing is, Game of Thrones in the past has been so brutal, has been so merciless, that the entire time you're watching this episode, you're really thinking to yourself, like, dude, anybody can die. This is intense. Oh my God, this person's running, and it's overwhelming at points. Like, my blood pressure was up the entire episode. When it first starts, they send this like Legion of Dothraki off there, and the Red Queen lady comes back and basically gives them all power, like all of their like weapons like ignite with flame. So like, as you see them like going off, like you see the flames that they're carrying from their blades as they're riding the horses towards the White Walkers. And some people did complain about the like very, very low light of this episode. It was ridiculously dark. There were certain points, especially one like that I'll get to later, that was very, very difficult to see and fully like fathom what was going on. Personally, did they overdo it? Probably, yeah, but I liked it. I liked that effect because I felt like it was really more like claustrophobic. Like Ridley Scott's Alien was a very dark movie, but it went with like the theme of the entire movie. It's like you felt like trapped on the Nostromo with this thing. Same basic principle, and it's like you see these soldiers fighting against this onslaught, and I mean, these bastards do not stop. It is like a tidal wave of undead soldiers just running like, oh my God. So as far as deaths are concerned, I'm not entirely sure that Jaime Lannister and Brienne of Tarth don't die. I mean, you didn't actually physically see them die, so my guess is they're still alive, but they were literally, like, last you see of them, they are pinned up against the side of the castle, just White Walkers coming at them. Ser Jorah died, but honestly, I kind of saw that coming. He died fighting for Daenerys, and it was a good death. Like, it was a good death for him. The little girl, I forget her name. Hold on. Caitlin, what was the girl's name again?
I can't remember how to pronounce it.
What's the gist of it?
You can't put this on.
Oh, what? What's the gist of her name?
She's the Lady Mormont.
Lady Mormont?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Lady Mormont. Crazy little girl who leads an army, and she takes on a giant. The giant picks her up and is crushing her. Like, you hear the crunching of her armor and her bones. And it just like picks her up and lifts it right in front of its face. And she just goes like, ah! And she stabs it in the eye and brings down the entire White Walker giant. And I said aloud, I said, I'm not even mad. I'm not even mad. Because how badass. And my wife, of course, was like, I'm mad. Like, I mean, I was mad, but like, I was not mad at the same time. It was a very bittersweet experience. My wife also called it that the corpses that were in the tombs beneath Winterfell were going to come to life, which they did. And I'm like, oh my God, they're in the tombs. They're killing like women and children. And I'm like, this is it. Once that happened, I really kind of started to lose hope, because, I mean, it is Game of Thrones. I mean, after the Red Wedding, it's sort of like you can't really say that you expect for anything to happen. It's completely unpredictable. So I'm like, wow, I really think this is it. I think that, like, the end of that episode is so bleak. They breach the walls. You've got the ice dragon torching everything. There's virtually nobody alive on the battlefield inside of the castle. People are getting killed in the tombs. There were just these like stragglers of people like holding on. Arya, dude, the scene like where she's in the library, kind of like hiding behind the library stacks, and White Walkers are after her. I got a real big like Jurassic Park vibe from that. But Arya, what a little badass, dude. Davos didn't do shit this episode. He was like watching Arya just kick ass against the White Walkers. And I'm like, what are you doing, Davos? I mean, he was ready to kill the red-headed Red Queen, whatever the hell, at the end of the episode. But honestly, I mean, I think that she went there just to kind of partially redeem herself. My ADD is kicking in because there's just so many characters, so much shit that happened. Theon. What a great ending to that character. That entire scene was just amazing. And not for nothing, he killed a lot of White Walkers. There was just a like battlefield of bodies around him. And then all of a sudden, like, you know, the dust kind of settles and you see the White Walker King and you see all the like White Walkers around him, and it's like, that's it. There's really nothing you can do. There's really nothing. He's screwed, and he knows he's screwed. And he's just sort of like standing there looking disheartened. And then the three-eyed raven says, Theon, you're a good man. He goes like, you know, thank you. And Theon just gets this like look like no, thank you for forgiving me. Again, bittersweet, you know. It's sort of like he, for the first time in God knows how long, probably actually feels good about himself. And with everything that he has left, he just goes and charges at the, you know, the White Walker King. And I mean, he gets killed, but it's just such a perfect death. And for a guy who's seen so much torture and torment and god-awful shit that's happened to him, it was a really good scene. It was a really good send-off. But then Arya comes in. Last possible second, the White Walker King is like reaching to get his blade to kill the three-eyed raven, and Arya just comes out of nowhere. Ah! He turns around, grabs her by the neck, and you're like, I mean, at that point, I was kind of like, goodbye, Arya. But, dude, you see her blade drop. She catches it in her hand, sticks him, and then he turns to ice and just shatters. And all the White Walkers everywhere just start to shatter. The White Walker dragon facing off against Jon Snow shatters. And it's like, Arya just literally killed all of the White Walkers. Mind fucking blown. It was amazing. It was absolutely amazing. And it's crazy because this whole time you're thinking like, oh, winter's coming and everybody's going to have to work together. Nope. Winter is done. Now it's literally just regrouping and fighting against Cersei's armies. And that's why I think that at least Jaime is still alive. Actually, no. I take that back. Brienne and Jaime, I think they're both still alive. Because again, you didn't actually see them die. And I sort of feel that like characters like that, they wouldn't do them the disservice of you not seeing them die and then just being like, oh yes, and Brienne of Tarth fell in battle. I don't buy it. I'm really stoked for the next 3 episodes. This was legitimately probably the most stressful hour of television that I ever watched, but I came out of it like so happy, so much fan service, and it just did not disappoint. So anyways, that's my thought on Season 8, Episode 3 of Game of Thrones. All right, guys, that's all she wrote.